On the others we've looked at previously, and this topic is climate change. Some of us may have forgotten all about that. It was the big topic from last year, and a lot of demonstrations and protests about that, and they've been overshadowed by most of what's happened in the world this year. So I just wanted to come back and remind you that this is still a thing. It's not gone away, so we still need to be thinking about it as we come out of lockdown. So why are we talking about this? Well, not to be too political about it, but Britain is failing on its pledges on climate. And it seems that while the world is focused on other things, governments around the world are slowly but surely forgetting what they promised to do just about a year ago. So you can click on the link down below and that will take you to the full article from The Guardian, and it talks about how the British government maybe should start making sure that any companies that get massive money bailouts from the government have to meet new green standards. There's been a lot in the news on how the COVID crisis and the lack of movement around the world has led to huge improvements in the atmosphere. The sea's cleaner, the air's cleaner, the grass is greener, all this kind of thing. And yes, it's true, but it's temporary. And you can see from the map of Italy, there is a very marked difference between March 2019 and March 2020, but it is temporary, guys. And unfortunately, another massive problem that we're all responsible for, the plastic problem, it's probably got worse with the rise of people getting takeaway meals and other things like that during the lockdown. So this can be our mantra at the top of the slide here: think, don't throw. So if you've got a packet of sweets, or if you've got a can of Coke or whatever, and your usual response is to finish it and throw it somewhere, and it's not going in a bin or going in the right bin, then you need to think about where that's going, guys. Lots of the black bins you see around London, they go to landfill, which basically means you put a plastic bottle in there, it ends up in the ground. Now, having grown up near a landfill site myself, I know how disgusting that can be after 20, 30 years, when the plastic basically melts down and turns into this horrible sludge that can't be used again. You can't plant trees there. It just becomes disgusting, basically. So recycling is really important. So if you see a recycling bin, that should be where you're putting your rubbish. Please click on the link below and it can talk about a little bit about how we can help to reduce the plastic problem on the planet. That's by National Geographic, which is a very well researched and funded program maker, so you can trust it. I'm always keen for you to think twice before you believe something, but in this case, this is a very good source of information. So it's all very well and good, me talking to you, you know, I'm the adult, you're the child here, this is what you should do. No, I mean, what can I do? You know, as a teacher, as a professional person, what can I do? Well, I do something bad almost every time I come to school. I drive a petrol car to work every day. It's a 50-mile round trip, so I'm putting out 50 miles worth of carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere every single day. And I need to rethink this if I'm going to play my part fully in making this world a cleaner, better place for you and my children and grandchildren and God knows how many more generations. So I need to rethink this, and it is playing on my mind, and I'm very pleased to be able to say that my next car may well be an electric one. And another thing that we have started doing in my household, my partner and I, we've replaced meat with vegetarian options for about 80% of meals. We're not vegetarian people. I'm not quite able to do that yet, but I am trying. But we are replacing meat with meat replacement products to try and lower the amount we're eating, because beef farming, pork and other cattle farming is one of the major destructive things that humans do on the planet. So that's a very, very small thing. Some people are doing amazing things. I'm not claiming to be able to do any of those things really, but I am doing small things, and they're all things that you can think about doing as you grow older and you become more responsible. So guys, you may have seen some of the cartoons by a guy called Steve Cutts before. He's a very political cartoonist. He will make short films describing how people use too much social media, or how no one cares about each other anymore. It tends to be quite negative, so it's pretty one-sided. Just before you watch this, I will tell you that it is very one-sided, but it does show some of the real destructive habits that some people and some cultures, including our own, have on the planet. So have a watch of that, and if you want to know what the music is, it's not the Alton Towers theme tune, although they do use it. It's called the Hall of the Mountain King. All right, so have a watch of that. Enjoy it. It is amusing in some places, but I want you to think about how actually humans affect the planet in a very negative way, and then think back to the previous slide and how you can do something to try and reduce that impact. So just to link that back to, you know, the slides and the different assemblies we've had before. All since half term we've been talking about communities and struggle. We've been talking about people rising up and changing things, making things better, social revolutions. Well, again, the Green Revolution is the thing that we all need to be thinking about alongside the social revolution. If you want justice for communities, you should want justice for all communities, and we all live on this little marble. So we need to be thinking about that very, very seriously. So, one of the things you are doing really well, and I'm very, very pleased to see a real improvement from last week. Now, last week wasn't great. We had just over a fifth of you guys not submitting work, and we had a small number doing all their work, and quite a lot of you in the middle, which is okay, but that red number needed to go down and the green number needed to go up. Well, I'm very, very pleased to say that this week I've seen a huge improvement. Okay, so only 7% of students in our year group are not doing the right thing, which is a very small number, about 11 people out of 158. So fantastic work, you guys. And to the 20%, you know, a full fifth of you who are now doing all your work to a high standard, I'm really, really proud of you. Well done. So shout outs from me. I'm not going to read all of these names out because there's too many. There's actually 32 of them. So to all of those guys in green, you've got no negative points and you've only got positive points. So that's really fantastic. So well done to all of you. The tutors down at the bottom, you can see the points difference. This week, Eloise streaks ahead of the game with +4 difference. So 55 positives and 51 negatives. You actually got more positive points than negative points. MUB in second place with a very respectable -4. SSI with a respectable -20. And the last three tutor groups, we need to do a little bit more to try and catch up. But as I say, as a year group, we are doing very well. So well done. All right, so let's go through the lucky 7. Let's have a go. Number 1, what causes global warming? There's a very particular atmospheric process, and humans are responsible for it partly. So what human process causes global warming? 2, which country is Greta Thunberg from? Apologies if I've spelt that wrong. Number 3, which politician is unusual for criticising her? It's very publicly criticised in the past. Number 4, his hair is natural and great. True or false? 5, why did so few people turn up to his rally in Tulsa last week? That's Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look it up if you don't know. Why did so few people turn up to his rally? Number 6, whose responsibility is fighting climate change? Who is it that's responsible for that? And 7, how can you link the picture Earthrise to this assembly, the picture that we've seen before and we will see again? How do you link it to this topic? And there it is, as if by magic, a bit of a link for you. So I just want you to be thinking about these images and how they all go together. They do link directly to the images of protest and social movement that we've seen in the past few weeks. We are all in this together. It's time we started acting like it. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful week and take care.